everybody. Happy Sunday to you. Catching up on a couple things here. How's everybody going? Or how's everybody doing, rather? How's it going? How's everybody doing? I seem to be mixing up everything tonight. I put down October from my live stream instead of November. So, whoop, I got my sound down here. Hold on. Get rid of that. There we go. All right, that's better. All right. Thanks, Browski J. Good to see you, Jim. Thanks for the Lima Charlie. Thanks for the thumbs up, Scott. Hey, Kim from Tennessee. I know you're up here not long ago, Ken. Up here doing some fishing. Bob Hunter's on here. Good to see you, Bob. Talked to you the other day. Brian Alexander, good to see you also. Leroy from Purple Taco Fly Supply is here. Good to see you, Leroy. Looks like my phone is crooked. I don't know if my phone's... Maybe my head's crooked. Looks like my phone's crooked, but it's probably me. Doesn't matter. We're moving on anyway. All right. Teresa Flanders, good to see you also. We got a few people on here. 35 people have taken the poll already. If you haven't taken the poll already, please do so. Feel like I'm lagging. Scott Argensinger, good to see you, man. Been a while. Kim Brescia with a super chat right away. That's 1 towards the goal of 10. Thanks for that. I'll give you the thumbs up there on the super chat. Much, much appreciated. Definitely helps the channel out. Blind Osprey's on here, my first mate. Good to see you, Tim. Got a lot of people on here. Cool. My name's Chris. I run Dark Blue Charters here in Manistee. We fish for salmon and trout from May until the end of September, and then I'm on the river, guiding on the river from September until we get back on the big water. So happy to see anybody here that's new, and for all of you that have been here for a while, thanks for coming back. And don't forget that all of these Sunday night live streams are proudly brought to you by DREAMWEAVER Lures and Smart Troll. The links to their products are down in the description. If you have not checked them out, do so. Both of them will put more fish in the boat for you, without a doubt. Rick Vancour's on here. Tom Rowland on here. Ken Brescia already said that, but good to see it. Ken Brescia's got the #1 right now, so whoever chats the most, whoever's the most talkative, gets their little badge there. You can see Ken Brescia's got #1 next to his name right now. Teresa Flanders at #3. Who's got #2? Ken Brescia at #2. It's all jumping all over them. Ken Brescia was at 2, now he's at 1. So anyway, fight amongst yourselves for those top positions. All right, we got a few things to cover tonight. We'll give a quick fishing report. There's not much to talk about there. I'll just get that right out of the way. Okay, we'll do that. And then we'll talk about the meeting, about the no-wake zone on Manistee Lake. Mike Gothrop, thanks for the super chat, dude. Much, much appreciated. We'll talk about the no-wake zone. I went to the meeting last week. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the free fishing seminar coming up. That's next Saturday, isn't it? Yeah, that is next Saturday, on the 8th at the Manistee River RV Resort. And we'll talk about a few other things as well. So anyway, fishing report around here. Steelhead are in. They are in the big Manistee River right now. As well as, from what I've heard, the other surrounding, not surrounding rivers, but other big rivers throughout the system, the Muskegon, the Grand. Sounds like the numbers are all pretty good. Lots of adults being caught right now on the big Manistee. Sounds like the entire system is doing pretty well. Some a little better than others. Sounds like the down low section maybe up a little higher is a little better. We were really going well in the middle section for last week and a half. And then that slowed down for a couple of days, but that's picked back up as well. But it sounds like potentially the upper section, High Bridge on up, or maybe slightly below High Bridge, has good numbers, but also down below, down below Coho Bend, down towards Bridge Street, is also doing really well. Talked to several people. Bob Hunter, he's on here, he being one of them. It sounds like spawn bags and beads are the tickets right now. Peach has been overall the hottest color that I've heard and that I've been using. The water is starting to clear just a little. We had that good rain, last week. Really got some nice dirty water. River water came up, or the water came up. CFS picked up really nicely, stained up nicely, and now that's starting to clear out a little. Water's starting to settle back down. So 10 millimeter beads have been my ticket lately. I did run a few 12s. Those did okay as well. But I only run Nova Tackle soft beads now. I mean, since I went to those things last year and the luck that I had on those, or the productivity rather, more than luck, the productivity that I had with those beads, I'm just sold on them. I'm just sold on them. I think the fish hold them in the mouth a little longer because they are that softer substance, so it feels a little more natural. And I had many people on my boat comment. Blind Osprey, he's on here. He fished with me once or twice last year. He even commented how well that those beads fish. And Bob Hunter, I know you're on here as well. You said you've been experimenting with them also, so I'm sold on those things. But my hot colors, peach. They got some funny names for some of the Nova beads, but the is it Gobbledum or something like that? There's one called that. The Morning Mist, the 007, the Secret Agent. Oh, and there's another one that I can't remember. It's a really bright chartreuse. That's been really good as well. So 10s and 12s have been my best. As the water clears up, I'll go back maybe to 8s, maybe stay at 10s, but those have been doing really good for me. Spawn bags also. Sounds like peach and white have been doing the best on the spawn bag. Colors. All right. CD Denman. Hey, back to you, buddy. Dan, the mattress man, is on here. Good to see you, Dan. One of the other, I got both moderators on here tonight. Look at that. Nobody better mess around. Guys better keep it clean. These guys will boot you. Good to see you, Dan. Thanks for being on here. All right, that's it. Fishing report-wise, I don't have much else. I know that there was a small one-day tournament over, was it Saturday, that was put on here locally. And it looked like the biggest fish was a steelhead that I think was right around 9.5, maybe close to 10 pounds. So, and there were some other nice adults being caught throughout that, looked like in that tournament as well. That's great. Glad to see it. Saw several coho being caught also on that tournament. And then I talked to a guy, it was yesterday, who was fishing Manistee Lake and caught a fresh coho. And, you know, I guess I wouldn't be surprised because the coho run was really weird last year. It showed up. It showed up for a little while, and then it was just gone. And then everybody that normally goes up to Platte Bay and just absolutely pounds on those things, it never really got going for them. So I guess I wouldn't be surprised if we're having a last, late season coho run of some sorts. Don't be surprised if all of a sudden you start seeing a few more fresh coho coming into the system. Talked to another guide. It was today, or was it yesterday? It doesn't matter. He sent me a picture of a king that he caught in the last day or two on the Manistee. That was a really fresh king. So, yeah, every now and then you get those rogues, which is pretty cool. Mitten Outdoors, good to see you. Hey, if you guys see the people on here whose name is in green, they are members of the channel. The channel membership, if you want to join up, that link is down in the description. Your name goes in green. You get some extra emojis you can use. Nobody cares about that. But the big thing is you get access to our private Discord page, and we have great discussions on there all the time about you name it. We talk about it. We talk about football. We talk about boats, fishing gear, fishing itself. But we'll go off in the hunting forums. There's buy-sell trade forums. There is really discussions about it. You want to talk about engine rebuilding? You want to talk about lawn care? You want to talk about anything? It about all gets discussed on there. And it's pretty darn cool place. So if you want to join up for the channel membership, link is in the description. It definitely helps the channel out. And I do sincerely appreciate everybody's support. Sincerely appreciate it. Russ Gillen, crazy day for football. I mean, I didn't want to bring that up. But yeah, we'll bring that up. So yeah, Lions lost. They did not look good. They looked off. They just were not clicking. But on the bright side, the Packers also lost. They looked worse than the Lions. No offense, Packers fan, but you guys did not look good either. But yeah, some other crazy scores going on. The Bills are winning right now, beating the Chiefs. I'm not surprised to see that. I think the Chiefs were on a hot streak there. I think they're going to come back down. I got nothing against the Chiefs. I got nothing against them. They're a good team. I really don't have anything. There's not like a single team out there that I despise. Obviously, I've been a Lions fan since I was a kid. And we've all had to ride that crazy Lions bandwagon over the years. wasn't even a bandwagon. It was a broke down 67 VW Bug that had 3 tires. It was not pretty for the longest time, but it's nice to see them doing well these years. I'll tell you, the NFC North, it's a good division, really good division. Russ Gillen, any hits on new Dreamweaver products? When I do have that information, you know I'll get it out to you guys and gals, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Okay, let's talk about the Manistee Lake no wake zone. I attended it wasn't a city council meeting. It was a harbor commission meeting, but it had city councilmen sitting on it, and the topic was brought up. There's a business entity. It's the Wander Inn here, the restaurant, the new restaurant in Manistee. They were present. I was present, and then there was two or three other business owners. One business owner, and then a representative from Joslyn Cove, and a rep from one of the other condos as well. And we all had a chance to speak. And the issue is being brought up by the Wander Inn. And their issue is, and I understand their issue. They're a new restaurant. They're sitting on that eastern shoreline of Manistee Lake. Boats go by there all the time, us included, getting out to the lake to go fishing or coming back in. And they put a lot of money into that restaurant. They put a lot of money into their seawall. And they were able to talk about their issue. And really what happened was it was really nice. We were able to sit down and talk throughout that meeting, not only with the board, but amongst ourselves. The board pretty much came out and said, look, Manistee only owns so much of the lake. If you look at Manistee Lake, they only own about 200 feet or so off that western shoreline. So the no wake zone, they could only, if they wanted to put one in effect, and they really didn't want to. They wanted to discuss them more. They wanted to do more opinions, more surveys, a little more studying. But if you looked at that, they would, even if they said, yep, we're going to do it, they would only be able to enforce that from the shoreline 200 feet out towards the middle of the lake. So we're really not going to do anything anyway. So we talked about that. I had a chance to speak. Wander Inn had a chance to speak. My biggest thing, of course, was time that it adds to the day. My biggest thing was, where the parameters of the no wake zone was going to, where they would exist. Really, what it boiled down to, and this was a really more surprising to me than anything. What it boiled down to was we were all able to have adult discussions. The Wander Inn made a good point. They got a lot of money invested there. They're trying to protect their investment. They respected me as well. They said, we understand the charter captains. They have their investments as well. They're protecting their businesses. So what we decided to do is revisit this in the spring. And we're going to do some testing out there to see what kind of wake that we may potentially be kicking up and what we can do to actually help these guys out. Now, of course, I can't speak for every boat out there, but say that we were to implement a gentleman's agreement that we wouldn't fire up or run up on plane until we were, say, 100 feet, 150 feet past the general vicinity of that restaurant. Would that help them? And would that hurt me? And the answer to that is yes, it would definitely help them. And the other answer to that was no, it would definitely not hurt me. It might add 3 minutes to my day going out, 3 minutes to my day coming back in. And in the sake of being friendly and playing fair, that doesn't affect me in any way. And when we can have adult discussions about these things and not just sit at a board meeting and scream at one another or point fingers and genuinely sit down and be humans and adults about all this, things get done. It was wonderful. So we're going to revisit it in the spring. We'll see what we can do. They may put a buoy out there, like a friendly buoy, trying to give them some buffer on the wake. And I'll talk to the guys at the marina, and if they want to also agree to not fire up the boats within that, in that potential friendly no wake zone, that's up to them. I think the majority of them and the majority of the transient people that come to Pier 31 will respect it and agree to do so. There may be a few that don't, and that's up to them anyway. But you got to remember, there's also existing laws in place that they're already in place on Manistee Lake. They're already in place in Lake Michigan. You know, you can't run a wake within a certain distance from another boat. I've seen that God knows how many hundreds of times on Manistee Lake. When it's jigging season and boats are running every which way, it can get pretty stupid out there, really stupid. So there are laws already in place that should help protect them. The issue more so boils down to, you know, who's out there enforcing these laws, what their capabilities are, what their manpower may be. So there might be some other issues that we have to look at as well. So long story short, too late. I get it. Way too long of a story. We'll look at it again in the spring, but I think we're going to be able to put everything in place. But as it sits right now, and I don't think it's going to change. As it sits right now, nothing has changed. Everything is still status quo. There is no wake zone on Manistee Lake whatsoever. Manistee Lake is an open sports lake. There are people that have put no wake zone signs like up on their docks, like at Joslyn Cove and a few other. I think that a couple of the other condos might have them. There's a no wake zone over by Sangs Marina that people respect that just because, you know, a wake from a boat, a big boat, especially, you know, a 31-foot tiara can put up a pretty good wake. So anyway, we'll all take a look at it again. Okay. If you got any questions on that, shoot them into the comments. I'm happy to answer anything. I was legitimately surprised that I was the only person there from either the charter community, fishing community, boating community, etc. I was the only one there. Yeah, I had a lot of people email me, text me, ask me about it, show support. Hey, if I can be there, I'm going to make it. You know, this is something we need to talk about. I'll be there. And nobody. But hey, one of my favorite sayings is everybody wants to be, you know, a butt kicker, and until it's time to do butt kicking things. So it's always a good idea. If you get an opportunity to make your voice heard on issues, make your voice heard. Okay? That's it. All right. What are we missing here in the chat? Lake levels. Yeah, Just Pro. Yeah, lake levels will play a factor also. Yeah, absolutely. The shallower or the lower the lake level definitely can induce bigger wakes, without a doubt. Rick Wincourt, what is the Stream Elements? Stream Elements is it's a program that I run that I can go back and I can watch statistics. They also, if you want to buy my merchandise, like the limited edition Dreamweaver stuff like that, there's a link down in the description. That's the store that I sell through. So, excuse me, that's what that is. Good question. Buck Bush, thanks for the super chat, dude. We are three deep in our goal on our way to 10 super chats, so thank you. All right, next Saturday, I'll talk about this again real quick. Next Saturday, we are having a free fishing seminar at the Manistee River RV Resort. And this is a seminar that's going to be generated towards basic and intermediate fishing for steelhead on the Manistee River, really any river for that matter. If you want to get there, you want to sit down, have a free seat. We'll do giveaways. We'll have store specials. We'll have some nice seminars by guides, myself included. If you want to get in on that, go on my Facebook page. Dave Robbins, thanks for the super chat. Rick Wancourt, you also, guys, thank you. Very much appreciated. If you guys want to get in on that, though, free fishing seminar. No money involved whatsoever unless you want to buy something. That's up to you. But that starts 2 p.m. next Saturday at the Manistee River RV Resort. Go on my Facebook page. The link to my Facebook is in the video description here, or really on most of my other videos. Go there. Go to my Facebook page. It says Christopher James. There is a post there. You can put your name on the post. I'll put you on the list that way, or you can PM me through Facebook, and I'll get you on the list that way also. We have seats open still. When we fill up all the seats, I will let everybody know on Facebook. But right now, we have availability for about 25 people. That's gonna fill up the room, but 25 is doable. I think we're sitting at about a dozen right now. I'd really like to see us get up to around 20. That would make that'd make me super happy if we can get up to about that number. 20 people or so. 25 is fine also. But whenever we get to that number, I'll let everybody know. But this is absolutely free. I'm going to throw things out to people throughout the day. I'll throw you some beads out, maybe a float or two. Nova Tackle is donating a free bead pack to everybody. I'm going to show everybody how to tie soft beads, how to rig up your salmon and your steelhead setups. Like I said, I got guides coming in. They're going to talk about looking at the water, finding areas of water to fish, what they look for, how to fish those waters. I might even ask another guide or two to come in and talk about things as well. Huey Merrill, thanks for the super chat, man. Much appreciated. So yeah, get in on that. It's free. And then we're going to try to do this, like I said, about once every month. So this is November. Yeah, we'll try to, I think December we'll definitely do January, February, March, and probably into April. We're going to try to do something every month. We're definitely going to do something I think the majority of the remaining seminars will be big lake topics, fishing the late season, hot gear, fishing early season, anything like that. How to run plugs, how to run flies, how to run downriggers, whatever. We'll figure it out. Teresa Flanders, thank you so much for the super chat. Major shout out to everybody that's super chatting. We're at 7 out of 10 on the super chat goal, so thank you all for doing that. Much appreciated. Anyway, enough said on that. But get involved. You want to get out there. If you want to learn the river fish a little, man, I'd love to see you there. Maybe I'll even bring some free pizza or something. I don't know about that. I don't know. That'd probably break me. I know how much fishermen eat. I'd probably have to buy $500 worth of pizza. All right. What else did I want to talk about? Trying to think here. Got the fishing report, the no wake zone, the seminars coming up. Either next Sunday or the Sunday after, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to try to do end of the year report, talk about the hot baits for the year. We do this every year. It's normally Scott Argetsinger and I that sit down and do this. I may go a different direction. Scott, no offense, I know you're on here, but I may try to open it up more. You get maybe a couple, 3 other charter captains involved as well. Try to get people a little broader, look at everything, a little bigger scope on all that. So, yeah, we'll figure that out. Should be next Sunday or the Sunday after. Scott, I'll get with you on that, though. Maybe it'll just be you and me. I enjoy that. Ken Brescia, they still have ice cream? Yes. In fact, I was told by the owner there at the Manistee River RV Resort that it may be free ice cream that day. So, I mean, that alone is enough to get most people to show up to a fishing seminar, get some free ice cream. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it, dude. All right, that's all I got. That's all the topics I got. We're in that lull right now. We're at the end of the big lake season. We're just getting into the river season, so we're in that lull. There's shore fishing going on right now. There's piers fishing going on. River fishing is really starting to crank up. Deer season, the firearm season rather, is just around the corner. Archery season is in full swing. I'm seeing deer move like crazy. So the rut, I think, is just starting to kick. We got good cold weather. We got rain. We got some pretty good winds out there today. That rut should be really starting to kick pretty hard within the next few days, without a doubt. Up in the UP, I imagine it's starting to really ramp up. But, yeah. Was there a debate about license plate or license price hikes? Yeah, so let's not forget the poll. The poll question of the night, and this is a good poll question. I wanted to see where everybody's take is on this. So the poll question of the night: increase license fees, not fleas, but unlimited rods for anglers. So bump up in the license fees, but anglers get unlimited rods to run on the boat. So of course, limits, fish limits will still be in place. You can still only take so many bluegill, perch, salmon, whatever, bass, but you can run unlimited rods to get there. I see the benefit to this. I mean, the limit is in place for a reason, and as long as enforcement is in place, it shouldn't matter how many rods that you run to get to your limit. If that's an issue, then the limit shouldn't be where it's at for whatever species it may be. So unlimited rods for an angler, I really don't have an issue with it. If you've got 2 guys in a boat and you can comfortably run 15 rods, you get your 10 fish and you go in, I don't have an issue with that whatsoever. On my big boat, we run anywhere from 13 to 15 rods on a daily basis. When do we get our limit or our time's up for the day? We're done. We head on in. So I don't see the issue so much on why people couldn't run more rods. It's your choice. I mean, you might be kicking your own self in the face, because running multiple rods can be a it can be a pretty steep learning curve if you're not used to it. So I'm curious though. Let's hear what everybody else has to say on that. Let's look at the poll. Poll right now. So we got 73 votes on the poll. I appreciate everybody that has voted. So 64% is it yes, and 36% is it no. I thought it would be a little higher on the yes. So I'm curious though. Put it in the comments. So what is your reasoning for your answer on the poll? Why did you say yes or why did you say no? I'm very, very curious to see what everybody has to say. 75 votes now, so it's going up a little more. If you haven't taken the poll yet, please go ahead and do that. Joe Kresnick, yep, definitely helps the weekend warrior who only fishes solo. Yeah, or with one other partner. Ken Brescia. Good point, Ken. You worry about the pierhead fishermen using 20 rods apiece. I understand that's going to limit space for pierhead fishermen, without a doubt. I could see the point of that, Ken. That's a very good point. I could see short or bank fishermen also on the river who can now set out 20 rods. You know, should there be a little more enforcement or different regulations for those events? And I could see that. Yeah, maybe this is more for for trolling purposes. I could see some differences and some regulations differing in those areas. So, good point though. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, Joe Kresnick. The limits are to control the fish population, not the amount of poles used. Yeah, when you hit your limit, you hit your limit. If the limit is at a certain number, it shouldn't matter how you get to that limit, as long as it is a legal fishing method. You know, you're not throwing dynamite or something in the water. Yeah, Huey Merrill. Yep. Can't get more than 6 rods out because the fishing's on. Yeah, absolutely. Joe 205, late but made it. Hey, how you doing, Joe? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. All right, Salty Walrus, thanks for clarification on that. The House legislation is only unlimited rods for boats on the Great Lakes, not for shore anglers. Yep, thank you. That's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure before I even opened my mouth on that. Yep, Dan the Mattress Man, yep, you're just clarifying that as well. Thin Blue Line Fishing, good to see you, E. Thanks for being on here. Rick Wancourt, could more rods cause more tangles and tackle in the lake? Yeah, absolutely it could. I think if we actually knew the amount of crap that we put out in that lake or into the river systems, if we actually had a clue of how much was in there, we would probably all gasp out loud. There's no doubt. Would it put more in the lake? Yeah, absolutely. There's already so much in that lake, and I'm not trying to justify polluting the lake in any way, but there is a ton out there. I mean, you know, the old good luck trick where you would throw a coin or something at the rod. Maybe you guys don't know this, maybe you do, but there's an old thing we used to do on the boat where if we were in a slow time, we would take a coin out of our pocket and we'd try to hit a rod with it. We'd stand there and throw it at a rod, and whatever rod you hit, it would supposedly be the next rod to go off. I can only imagine the amount of money that's laying on the bottom of that lake. SPG, yeah, more rods, increased harvest, tackle sales. Yeah, tackle sales would probably be affected by that in some way, without a doubt. It may affect license sales as well. It may promote or may interest a few more people to get out there and buy licenses. Yeah. Steve Steele, bow hunting. Sorry you're late. No big deal. Happy to see you, Steve. Don't worry about. You don't need to apologize, man. Completely understand. Yeah, dive the big point and then find all the missing tackle, dude. If you could legitimately dive down, you could. I've dove those kind of depths before. If you could legitimately go down there and find all the gear that's down, you never will. The sand is covered up. It will cover up and uncover that stuff so quickly. But could you imagine if you went down there and dove like around Big Point or just around the pier heads, you know, or just around hot areas? Yeah, you would find a ton of. You wouldn't just find tackle. You would find cannonballs. You would find downriggers. You would find rods and reels. You would find wallets. You would find clothing. You would find boats. God only knows what else you would find down there. But yeah. Dave Suzma, showing how you set all those rods would be fun to see. Yeah, absolutely. SBG, live in Illinois. Yep, understood, dude. None of us intentionally donate to the lake, Russ. Russ Gillen, without a doubt. None of us intentionally do it, but it definitely happens. Yeah, the fishhawk probes. Oh my gosh, could you imagine the amount of fishhawk probes you would find down there? No kidding. Yeah, you could, if they were still in working order, you could probably get rich pretty quick. All right, what do we got on here? We got about 80 people on here. I don't have much more to say. I got through the topics that I wanted to, but look forward to the next couple of weeks. Like I said, I'm going to do the end of the year wrap up. I'm going to try to get a couple charter captains. I'd like to get some from like different ports also, not just me and a couple guys from Manistee, but I'd like to get me, get somebody from Ludington, Muskegon, Frankfurt. See if I can get those guys together and gals, and that way we get a more a broader scale what's been working at different ports. Because I do know without a doubt that a lot of times what may be working for me doesn't work, say 80 miles down the road or 20 miles down the road. So always interested to see how that works out. Ken Brescia, any snowflakes yet? Yo, no. I think it's what is it? 51 out right now. No snow for me around here. I don't know about everybody else, but not for me. Best fishing pole. As long as they use my rods, I'm all in for unlimited rods. Plus, my rods would be a gift for anyone who wants to fish in the 21st century. Best fishing pole, you must have the greatest fishing rod ever invented then. Designer touch decorating. Thoughts on the hatchery stamp as well? No, I don't really have any thoughts on that right now. I'm not the kind of person that just opens my mouth on something without having have not diving into something in some way. I like to get a little more educated or have a little more time to think about things before I open my mouth on it. So I don't have much thought on that though right now. Mike's Flies, you're very welcome. Thanks for being here. Manistee River's on here. So this is this must be the Manistee River RV Resort on here. This must be the owner. Saying the ice cream is definitely free during the seminar. Yep, there's Jay. He's on here. All right, so everybody, you got it right there from the owner's mouth. You come to the seminar, not only are you gonna get great free instruction on fishing the river, you're gonna get some freebies. You're gonna get free ice cream. You're gonna get store discounts. Man, there's no reason not to show up. The SS Glow Frog is a big fat zero for me, man. It's BG. I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Ken Brescia, what rods am I using for steelhead? Or are you using for steelhead? I imagine you're talking to me, Ken. I use Nova. Love Nova rods. I use the 11.6s for my baitcaster setup, so I'm running the 11.6s. They're great. All right, wrapping it up, shutting down the poll right now. We're ending up at 64% for yes, unlimited rods, higher license fees, and 36% no. And that poll. Still got about 80 people on here. Thanks everybody for taking the time out of your day on a busy Sunday, hopping in here, making comments, doing the super chats. We made it to 7 out of 10 on the super chat. Thank you so much for that. I am working right now getting the cameraman back out on the riverboat, do some river videos. I got an idea on how not to blow up the river and give away good spots, too much information, things like that. So we're going to make that happen. So the super chats and everything goes a long way because, of course, I do have to pay the cameraman and the editor. They happen to be the same person, so he gets paid twice. So that definitely goes towards that. Thanks, guys and gals. All right, that's it. I'm out. Be safe. See everybody back next Sunday, if not sooner, at the Saturday free seminar. All the information's on my Facebook page. Link is in the video description. See ya.